Hey guys, I'm Nikhil, co-founder of BMMGuru and co-host of the show BMMTalkx. This show is about having conversations with people who are experienced and knowledge from parts of media world and taking insights from them for their work, suggestions and expertise. This week we have our co-founder, my dearest friend Preetham Shah, and he started his life as a BMM graduate and entered into TRA as an intern and then became the top level employee and recently exited to run his own business called Human Forte. Human Forte is a recruitment company and they expertise in recruiting mid and top level positions for IT, startup, fintech, adtech and many more industries. So I'm going to be asking few most common questions that we have in the media industry and let's welcome Preetham. Hey Preetham.
Hey Nikhil.
The first question I would like to ask you is tell me more about yourself. Like how did your journey started?
Yeah, so basically it was a crazy journey. I started with the Trust Research Advisory and I was there for 6 years almost and working on reports, working on intangibles of trust, meeting top brands, learning from them that how to execute, how the right communication, and since it was the sister concern was a PR agency also, I learned a lot of PR tricks as well, that how PR is an industry is also important in this world, wherein with the ever-changing need of media and the digital rise of digital media, PR has also gone up. So my interest was there to maintain that TRS PR as well as helping them achieve what they are for in the market. And it was a very sweet journey. It ended on a very sweet note, and it was a high time that I realized that I wanted to start my own company. And one thing which was literally while I was at TRA, I realized that employees are the real stakeholders of any company, and if you don't have the right people or the right employees, you end up doing nothing. If you have a great idea, if you don't have people to execute that idea, you are actually doing nothing in the market. So that's where I realized the need of hiring the right people in the right company. And that's where I met Snehal and we discussed about it, and we started with this company called Human Forte, and today we are doing good. We are working with a lot of startups because they require the right kind of people. They have a good idea, they have a good investor investing millions of rupees, but then they don't have people to execute it. So that's where we came, and right now we are working with our top startups, mid-size IT companies. We hire permanent as well as contract hiring, and it's been a crazy journey now, and our plan is to grow more in the direction wherein we enter in the media space as well and help media agencies to recruit the right talent.
Lovely. And I am always fascinated about this story, Preetham, when I met for the first time. Please mention to our listeners on what position you started at TRA and what position you exited the company.
Basically, I started as an intern. Still, my research head Sachin has saved my number as Preetham Intern, so he hasn't changed my name yet.
That's crazy, yeah.
And so when I exited, I was their senior research manager.
That's amazing.
And that's how. And today I'm a co-founder. So from intern to a co-founder, kind of a journey.
That's truly inspirational. That actually helps someone to believe कि okay, it's okay to start from the basic level, because that's the way you get to know the basic fundamentals, right?
Correct. And actually that's what it is. Like today's youth, they want to jump high. They want expedite growth, which is not possible, Nikhil. You have to start. As a fresher, you need to just start with basic thing and don't worry about the salary, because to be very honest, I started at 6K. I'm not ashamed of saying this in front of the world, because that's how it is, that you have to start and test and trial yourself and then know your market rate or market standard, where exactly you can be later on.
Correct. I completely agree with what you say. In media world, if someone who just graduated from BMM or some related cinematographic or video editing course, social media, where do you think they need to start their life from, and what do companies expect from these people?
Basically, they should start doing freelancing thing right from the beginning. Like when you go for a course like BMM, so it involve it, and right now the social media like YouTubers, influencers have gone to such an extent that you can also be such a person while you complete 3 years of your graduation. Initially, you should start with the company which you want to be with, whether it's an internship. So do that 2 internships which comes after first year and second year. That's where when you get three months free time, and that's where you have to utilize those 3 months. I remember in my days I was traveling to Goregaon. I was working in a air agency called OMARC, which had clients like Mahindra, Sepia, Apna Sahkari Bank, and that's where I came to know that my interest is in research. I can be a good researcher, and
so basically this time and the college time is best to understand what industries are available at this moment, and also to have a touch, feel, and to know whether you really fit into this market or not.
Exactly.
And internship is really a good opportunity.
Internships is a very good opportunity, and that's where you realize that this is your passion, and then you just run behind it.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And also there is another angle to it. Let's say when I was in my college, Ogilvy is my favorite company to work. I just wrote a mail to Piyush Pandey because I want to get into Ogilvy. It hasn't really worked, I agree. But I even tried to reaching out HR of Ogilvy. Then also it doesn't really work. I don't think so. Every company available in the market going to be entertaining your words. What to do with that situation?
So basically, if not Ogilvy, there are 10 different companies like Ogilvy who are in the same domain, who are working in the same space. Approach them, because it's like there are two things. You can start with the best company and just be with them, or you can start with the number 2 company or number 10th company and take that company to number 1. It's how you think, and I feel ki second option or is the best option. Like if you're working with the number 1 company, you don't have the motivation, that extra motivation or that extra kick that you want to take this company to a different extent, because that company is already there. So I feel at this time you can approach a lot of mid-size companies, the companies which are just have started, because those companies will be able to think likewise as well. They'll need that young and vibrant talent. So that's the best option to do.
Cool. So let's say a person got to know which industry he belongs to, which work he belongs to. So how do you think he need to profile himself? Like, which is the right way to approach someone? Let's say Ogilvy. Okay, Ogilvy is too big and they don't entertain people like me who is fresh. Correct. But let's say I found a company X somewhere in Goregaon or somewhere in Andheri who are doing good, who have a good business, they're approachable. But how do you think should I approach them? I should not just say, hey, I'm looking at something, please help me out. There's definitely a way, right?
Definitely.
So how do you think?
So basically, that's where your making of a CV or writing a cover letter while you send that mail to HR matters. Because if you do some creative stuff there, that's where you will get that extra attention you need. Because if you tell me that you wrote to Ogilvy, there are 10,000 people like you who are writing to Ogilvy, and their mailbox is just full, and I don't even know whether HR actually checks all the mail. But there are few mails which she will be definitely checking, which mails which are just out of the box, just creative, have a very good cover letter mentioning all the details that why you want to be with this company. So there are few things which you need to do extra, and sometimes I feel that you should try to meet them, directly go them, approach them, what's the scene, make them understand that why you require, why you are desperately looking for this opportunity. That's where they'll also come to know that this is bande mein kuch dum hai. And I think cover letter and CV here talks a lot.
Correct. And also a little extension to this question is, in media, from my knowledge, I see two different set of people. One, skilled people who exactly have a job description what to do. And second are the creative people who acquire talent, who bring on that to on board. Like let's say writers, content writers, creative writers, designers, copywriters. They just innovate their thought process, and there are other
Correct.
positions. So how do like the approach possibility for these two different sectors is different, right? So how do you think they both has the same way of approaching it?
No, not at all. Because when you know that you are a sales guy, you have to just tell them that give me anything, give me this tissue paper, give me this pen, I will sell it. And if you sell it properly, you are in for the job. No matter what you have sold in the past. The second part which you mentioned, the creative side of it, ideally what these guys should do, they should make their portfolio and present that portfolio in front of them, saying ki, hey, I did this. Everything mentioned in this portfolio or whatever you are saying, this is what I made, these are my thoughts, and make that portfolio so strong that you can just get selected by the portfolio. So you actually don't work for brands. Like there are a few brands which you like, you just make a random ad of it, you do a random banner ad, or if you will be the Facebook manager of that page, what will you post? You make such things in your portfolio and present it. So no matter tomorrow you get a Maggie to sell or a mobile phone to sell, you can sell it.
Correct.
With your portfolio, with the amount of interest which you show them that, hey, I can think out of the box. See what I did for Maggie, I can do it for Vivo as well. And this builds a lot of respect also to the person, that hey, he's not just a fresher or something like that. He knows how things to be done. Let's give him our existing client. Let's see what he does for that. And if that idea clicks and if the client likes, which usually is a very difficult thing, you are a hero of that thing, and later on you get what you want. Like you get good amount of package as well. Initially they don't allow you to give that because they also don't know whether your creativity will really work for their clients. It depends. Like it is a very dependable situations wherein uncertainty is a lot there in creative world, and that's where why companies hire someone who is, most of the times you will see in the agencies there are few people who are just there, like they don't have any job. You feel कि अरे उसको क्यों रखा है इधर, but in one meeting when they'll go, they'll just present themselves or pitch something to the client randomly that they are worth more than what you are doing. It's like that in many agencies. You see random people are just there for the sake of it, but yes, they are worth it. So that way it is. Creative world is a very it has become very niche, I feel. Because in IT or other sectors where you know that this is the skills, but for creative world you can't really show other than your portfolio that hey, I have worked for these many brands in my past, or hey, I'm a fresher, I have done this work during my college period, and now I want to do it live for the clients rather than just for randomly for my portfolio. So there's a lot of discrepancies there as well, and that's where you feel you see that creative people initially from the media industry don't get good package in the initial and in the initial stage. But they should not worry about the package, I feel. They should just build their portfolio, work for few companies, do the 2 internships for sure, so that they know that they are going to production, or they are going to client servicing, or they are going to art director. So these things matter a lot, and that's where I feel today's youth are missing. Like I conducted one session at College Villepale where their people didn't know what LinkedIn is. So LinkedIn is the professional site where after 3 years you have to be there. That's where you grow your professional network, and that's where you show HR that hey, I know so many people from the industry.
Correct.
So these are the few things which they need to build. The freshers especially need to build from the start. They just can't be expecting that after 3 years everything will be happy. Yeah, in my company I'll get the training. No, in creative world, Nikhil,
It's tough.
What's trainings in creative industry?
Correct.
It's not there. You just have to go there and think out of the box, perform, or else you will be fired. There will be someone else who will perform.
In this media industry, if you don't work, there is always a replacement for you.
Exactly.
That's so true. Yeah. There are a lot of companies you deal with in the agency side. What do companies exactly look for, and how many? When I was in college, all I heard was, hey, there is something called agency, then there's something called production, and yeah, I know 5 jobs here, I do 5 jobs here, and recently started digital marketing. Okay, they're cool, like SEO optimizer, social media handler, content designer, content writer, web page designer. I know 5 to 10 positions. But do you really think how many positions are there in the market, and what kind of demand that positions have in the market?
So basically, with the rise of, with the ever-changing demands and the needs of the media and entertainment industry, it has fueled a lot of growth and innovation in the advertising sector itself. Like in media industry, there's a hell lot of innovations. Like recently, you see, podcast industry has come up so well. Ambient advertising, these all things people are doing. So the ever-changing demands and the needs of the media and entertainment industry have fueled a lot of growth and innovation in the advertising sector itself. Like in the media industry, you see a lot of new industries which have come up. Like podcast is doing good these days. There are a hell lot of production houses. What they do is they just first produce on YouTube, then only they release the main ad in online, on the TV. So while this have grown, in industries need people. Like media industry has growing like hell, to be very honest, because every company need a graphic designer, a content writer, a person who can manage their SEO, SEM. Either they outsource that. So these are few things which are a must, because little bit you're just wishing happy Diwali. You can just download a Google say image and उसके ऊपर logo चिपका दिया अपने company का and upload it on the Facebook. You can't just do that right now. People are so informative that everyone knows everything today.
Correct.
Just कुछ भी politics में भी हो गया तो CEO comments कि this should be not done or this should be done. Any government policies changes, a brand is communicating. So brand now wants to reach everywhere. Wherever there is trending topic going on, they want to reach there. And for that, these all things require a lot of manpower to do this, to execute it in a way which will look company as a company which is well aware of all the information happening. Because when you don't post a happy Diwali on a Diwali, you are not there in their minds. See, so it impacts, right? There are 7 people who are wishing you happy Diwali. You feel that why the 3 are not wishing.
Correct.
And suddenly you are more close to that 7 people. This is how it is. Like human psychology works that way. That's where to manage all those latest upcoming ever-changing needs, which needs and demands which media industry has brought up. The need of having more people in the company, in the digital marketing space. There are a lot of startups which has come in digital marketing who just do pure digital marketing for your companies. So that's where the need has gone up. And today media industry is something wherein they will require a lot of talent. Like if you ask me, every year they'll require at least 5,000 to 10,000 people only in Mumbai. That's how big it is in numbers.
Hold on to that point. My last question is freelancers. Everyone right now in the college either do internship or get into freelancing. So the biggest problem is for freelancer is it's tough for them to get work in the basic, and it takes a lot of effort for someone to trust a freelancer. Give some suggestions that help freelancer.
So basically, freelancers should maintain a lot of contacts. They should do a lot of networking. They should go to events, which Nikhil, you usually do that. You do a lot of networking, right?
Yeah.
So you know how important it is, and you know how much context you have built just by going to that 10 odd events which you have gone.
Correct.
So that's what freelancer should do, and he should literally, whenever he meets anyone whom we feel that he is my prospect, he should just open his phone, show his work, send the portfolio of his, and it will be there in the inbox. So क्या होता है, whenever any new work comes, like for an agency, a new client came, and there is an immediate requirement of work to be done, and that's where agencies feel कि अच्छा अगर hire नहीं हो रहा है तो वो freelancer I know, give him the work, he will do it.
Correct.
But for that freelancer, that particular freelancer has to maintain that good relationships with that agency. So
Correct.
he has to go for regular such events. Freelancers should attend events and maintain relationships. They must have at least 10 to 15 agencies ka contact wherein he have worked in past with them. That's where they will recall him and they will call him whenever it's urgent. Other than that, he should just randomly approach new companies. There are so many local shops, Nikhil. He can randomly go there, tell them, I'll make the poster, I'll make the standee for you, I'll make the banner ad for you. So this just builds up his portfolio and he get good money out of it.
Correct. The demand for a freelancers versus the number of freelancers and the amount of work they can do.
Correct.
One thing I realized is Mumbai in whole over India is the biggest hub for media people.
Correct.
You get thousands and thousands of people every year who are just clueless because they know skills what to do but they don't know where to find it. And one biggest problem it happens is places like Pune, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Nagpur. So all these places, the biggest problem is they need the work done. They might not have the biggest agencies there, but they definitely have localized products and local marketing need to be done. So I think freelancers should also go to that places, at least as it is a freelancer work, being in contact with that kind of areas and knowing what happens there.
Correct, absolutely right. Because when you go to the tier 2 cities of Mumbai itself, forget going to Pune and other cities which you mentioned. If you just go to tier 2 cities of Mumbai, there are brands which are doing so crazy. There are Mithaiwala of Malad, there is Chitle Bandhu of Pune. These are local brands which has given tough fight to the main guys.
Correct.
If freelancers approach those brands and tell them that hey, I can do work for you at such cost, they will love to have them on board.
Yes.
Right? Because they are very reluctant to agencies. Why? They feel no, they will charge bomb. If I'll go, they will screw my band. They will make change everything. So freelancers से क्या होता है? They give a leeway that hey, I'll do it whatever you want me to do it.
This is actually an advantage for freelancers because most of the companies, they add extra surcharge just because to maintain the company's expenses, and that's the biggest benefit for freelancers, to bid and get the best pricing. Exactly. So freelancers, whoever are listening, this is the best time for you to approach brands and give your quotation and give your possibilities that what you can do and how better you are from the actual companies who do this process.
Exactly. Wish you luck, man.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you so much, Preetham. These are some questions. Actually, colleges we generally visit to, people generally ask, when we're into recruiting, people ask, hey, could you help us with that? Could you help us with this? I don't know how to approach. I don't know why things work this way. Approach. So these are like some basic questions that people have no clue about how to manage it.
Exactly.
And thank you so much for giving your insight on this thing. So guys, if you have any interesting questions or doubts, you can just comment down below in our YouTube podcast, and we're going to be bringing some interesting new guests as well. We're going to be discussing interesting topics, activities, and a lot of interesting stuff.